live every Monday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Hosted by me, your girl Lashia. Join me as I discuss social topics, spotlight independent artists, and share financial tips. Join the conversation. I want to hear what you have to say. Think Different TV, where minds meet. You're the reason I wake up, the reason I smile.
What's up, what's up, what's up, y'all? And I am cutting up today. As y'all can see, I have my Eagles up there, loud and proud. Shout out to my Eagles. Yes! Yes! I'm celebrating. I'm gonna let this marinate a little bit up there real quick. Let's do it. Welcome to the 4th episode of season 2 of Think Different TV, where minds meet. I'm your host, Lashia. What is up, y'all? How was y'all weekend? How's everything going? My weekend was absolutely phenomenal. As you can see, I'm repping hard my team. Super Bowl bound, baby. Oh my goodness. So I'm gonna let that marinate real quick while I run through this real quick because I gotta rep my team real quick. But listen, Think Different TV is every Monday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, and 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on the Think Different TV YouTube channel. Shout out to my TDTV fam all over the country. I thank you because you could be anywhere, but you decide to be here with me. So smooches to all of you. Mwah, 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 mwah. Think Different TV could not be made possible without viewers like you and our sponsor. So let's show our sponsor love. Our sponsor is Euphoria Water. Euphoria Water is the cleanest, healthiest water in Philly. Alkaline water with minerals. No chemicals, none of that crazy stuff in it. Listen, it's good and it's good for you. If you're going to hydrate the right way. Get your Euphoria Water today. Euphoria Water can be found on IG under Euphoria Water. That's UPHORIAWATER. And if you live in the Philadelphia area and want Euphoria Water delivered to your home, just call Captain at 267-707-8279. All right, I think y'all got enough. Hey, what's up, y'all? I am super excited. We have a heck of a show lined up for you today. We got our Hit It and Quit It, and we also have a crazy hot topic and our music discussion, our financial discussion, and I think one of our favorite segments here on the show are Martin Jeopardy. So a lot of ground to cover, a lot of things to do. Shout out to Imitation by Jarrell. Queen been rocking out with me since the beginning. But before I even get into this Hit It and Quit It, please make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell on my YouTube channel so you don't miss out on any new episodes, replays, or exclusive interviews from Think Different TV. Also, guys, let's share the love by sharing the live. All right? Don't keep me a secret. All right? I'm giving y'all some great information, and I try to keep it as entertaining as possible. Oh my gosh, I can't even say my words. I'm so excited. So I like to call it edutainment. All right? So I'm educating you, and I'm entertaining you. So please do not keep me a secret. Tell your friends after you share, comment, hashtag TDTV. All right? Because there is a lot of ground to cover and we got to get through this show, and I don't want to take up a lot of your time, guys, we're going to jump right into our Hit It and Quit It. All right, so Hit It and Quit It are trending events in music, sports, political, celebrity, and local news. So let's get to it. In music news, Justin Bieber sells his music catalog for $200 million. Man, that's a lot of money. Doja Cat had the internet talking with her blood red studded outfit. of choice at a recent event. Let's keep it short and sweet and just say that the comments hinted that her actions have led fans and spectators to believe that she is officially on the other side. Y'all, if y'all know what I mean. So we are witnessing ritual celebrities pass off as fashion. Rich Dollars from Love and Hip Hop. His daughter, little Ashley Trowers, was arrested for allegedly shooting at the father of her child, Demaya Tatum. Wow. Love Enchanting honors the passing of her label mate and close friend Big Scar with a new tattoo of him and his logo. Lil TJ has been arrested again in New York on firearm charges, second time in 2 weeks. Wow, you're very busy, aren't you? I'm guessing he does music, but he's racking up charges instead of racking up some music. Drake's Los Angeles home reportedly burglarized. The suspect was arrested in the neighborhood a few hours later after he was reported leaving the house carrying something in the process. YBN Namir starts a car rental service for his own cars. If you ask me, I think that's a smart move. I mean, use what you have to create some extra income. I mean, he could just let them just sit in the driveway and look pretty. And I mean, I know some other people that got a whole bunch of cars. Like, why didn't I think to do that? Like, if you got a little car fleet, make some money off of it. Ice Spice appears in a preview for the new Adidas commercial for a new launch there. They are releasing titled Adidas Ivy Park, #Park Trail. And I'm liking her new look lately. It's giving me a little bit of Faith Evans, with the long hair and the fair skin. Yeah. NLE Choppa organizes a peaceful protest in Memphis over the death of Tyree Nichols. And leading into that, because we're going to lead into that. So a lot of people have been asking me my opinion on the Tyree Nichols situation. Here we are, we have another young man beat to death by police officers, but crazy enough, these police officers look like us. And I was in church on Sunday, and my pastor, shout out to Pastor Boyer, he definitely touched on the situation. And it's crazy because a lot of pastors, they see all of this stuff happening and unfolding, and they're scared to talk about it in church or try to organize anything against it because they are afraid of some type of backlash of some sort, whatever. But my pastor was very candid in saying, back in the day, in the slavery times, they used to use people that look like us to keep us in line. And that the most safe neighborhoods, the safest neighborhoods, don't have cops. But what they have that's different from the areas that do have cops and do have this problem is that they have resources. That's the difference. Resources and they're able to accomplish so much more because they have what they need to survive. And a lot of times crime comes out of frustration. It comes out of fear. It comes out of not having what you need, right? And so he talked about, the fact that we don't need the cops to do more training. We need for people to just do right. And that really struck my heart. You get what I'm saying? And what's happening right now is this shift. And I'm tired of these videos. Like, we've done talked about this so many times. People sharing these videos, they show young people getting murdered, killed, beat, and all these different things. And people just passing it on, just sharing it. And I think that is absolutely crazy. It's unnecessary. I think we need to stop doing that and stop sharing these videos that are traumatizing. I know some people say, "Oh, well, I think that people are becoming desensitized to seeing, black people get beat and hurt in the street and this, that, the third." And if you have a heart and you have children, you have a son, or you have, just empathy, this is not something that you can become desensitized to. What it will do is traumatize you time and time again, give you PTSD, make you not even want to turn on the news or turn on anything, not even be on social media, because you never know when someone is going to share the next situation about a young kid getting killed by cops or just by each other. My condolences to the family. The mom just looks so heartbroken and she looks lost. Like they always say, a child is supposed to bury the parent, not the other way around. And I'm in Philly right now. Y'all can hear them sirens loud as day right outside my house because somebody done got into some mess. There we go. But his mom just looked lost and looked so confused and just like, this can't be real, this can't be my life. And we always look at these things and say, that's not gonna be my son, that's not gonna be me on the TV, talk about this, that, and the third, and then it ends up being you, and then it's like, what do I do now? And the thing that angered me about them sitting there talking with the news person is that it was some other guy sitting on the side of them, and I don't know if he was like a pastor or whatever, but the mom said, I haven't seen the video, I don't want to see the video. And he made it a point to say to her, well, sister, I just want to let you know, towards the end of it all, he was calling out for you. Why would you say that to the mom? Why would you? And this wasn't the interviewer. This was somebody else that was sitting with them, I guess, that was getting interviewed about the situation too. Why would you even say that? So my condolences to the family. And it's very unfortunate that this happened. And we got to just learn how to start policing ourselves. You get what I'm saying? To take the reins back. So that's all I have to say on the matter. I'm sure there's a lot of people that have a lot of opinions of, what they want to say and how they want to say it. But that's pretty much my piece about the whole situation. Let me refresh this page. All right. Moving on in the Hidden and Quitted. Brian Tyree Henry, you know him from Atlanta. The one that played the rapper in the show. He receives an Oscar nomination for Best Supporting Actor in Causeway. Let's see. Madonna is accused of child trafficking and sexually exploiting children by a charity organization called the Ethiopian World Federation in Malawi. They are known for pushing policies and advocating to change the laws that harm Black people. In 2006, she founded the nonprofit organization that seeks and brings help to orphans and at-risk children through health and education programs. The creators / writers of the hit adult animated TV show Family Guy faced backlash for a controversial Nipsey Hussle joke in a resurfaced episode. I'm gonna be honest, some of y'all just a little too sensitive. It was nothing offensive towards Nipsey Hussle or anything like that. It was just like they're doing they're gonna have a hologram performance by Tupac and Nipsey Hussle. And he said, I don't know who Nipsey Hussle is, but apparently I'm supposed to be really said about him or whatever. But this is a long time ago, y'all. Get over yourselves. Like, there's been way worse things said and done. So give Family Guy a break, because they're known for their dark comedy and dark sense of humor. A clip of Tim Allen flashing a co-star has gone viral days after he denied flashing Pamela Anderson years and years and years ago. Pamela Anderson wrote a book. She talked about the incident where he flashed her, and he said the reason why he flashed her is because he just wanted to say that they were even, because he's been looking at her naked for years and Playboy or whatever. And as y'all know, she was part of Tool Time on the show Home Improvement as one of the girls that was the Tool Time girls. And I think she was the very first one. And it was like her first acting job, I believe before Baywatch. So yeah, it was a lot creepy. But y'all gotta remember, Tim Allen, he ain't no clear cut. Like, before he was on Home Improvement, he was breaking laws and stuff, and he just so happened to rat out some people and not get locked up, and then he's an actor. So somebody said he's in that case, he wasn't Buzz Lightyear, he was more like a Woody. Crazy. Keke Palmer reveals she is having a baby boy. Congratulations, Boy Mom Club. Chris Brown reportedly owes $4 million in back taxes. Several tax liens have been filed against him. In a recent clip during an interview on No Jumper podcast, Blueface requested for Sean be removed from the set. She flipped out and lost control and broke a TV by kicking it on her way out. All right. In sports, the Philadelphia Eagles defeat the 49ers to advance to the Super Bowl 31-7. But I will say some destruction followed the win. It got a little crazy in these Philly streets. But like I said, my Eagles, they won. They was not playing, okay? You're not gonna come in our house, then you're gonna win. All right. So they're gonna be going to Arizona to the Super Bowl, baby. All right. And in other news surrounding the Super Bowl, Donna Kelsey becomes the first mother to have her sons play against each other in the Super Bowl. Travis Kelsey plays for the Kansas City Chiefs, and Jason plays for the Eagles. So this is going to be interesting. Also, I'm sure Andy Reid been waiting for this matchup for the longest time. He was like, I can't wait to see what my former team has in store. Amber Rose offers to eat the groceries for some Super Bowl tickets. So who wants to satisfy this much? Who wants to do it? Who wants to be the one to satisfy this much? Just let me know. Because she wants to be able to get some tickets. And I think her offering to do it publicly is a little much, but hey, to each her own. Okay, if that's what she wants to do to get some Super Bowl tickets, is eat some butt, let her do so. Okay, no slut shaming over here. All right, no butt eating shaming over here. All right, you want to eat butt, that's your prerogative. That's your prerogative. You can do what you want to do with some doo-doo. In other news, all right, Operation Nightingale, federal investigators launched an investigation into 25 people arrested after 3 schools in Florida after selling fake nursing diplomas at $15,000 each. Okay, they arrested the 3 people. The grand total profit is estimated to be around $114 million. The colleges are Sacred Heart International Institute in Fort Lauderdale, Siena College of Health in Lauderhill. My gosh, names. And the Palm Beach School of Nursing in West Palm Beach. So they're estimating around 2,300 fake diplomas being sold to candidates. and most diplomas were recipients who became RNs and LPNs after. And these people face up to 20 years in prison. Wow, that's crazy. In April of 2022, former judge in Arkansas, Thomas Caruth, allegedly solicited sex from the girlfriend of a defendant for expediting the defendant's of a girlfriend to expedite the defendant's trial date. The 63-year-old judge lied to the FBI when he was questioned about it. He was charged with 3 counts of honest services wire fraud, 3 counts of using a facility to interstate commerce in furtherance of unlawful activity, 1 count of bribery, and 1 count of making false statements, and 1 count of obstruction of justice. If convicted, the judge could face up to 20 years. He has denied all accusations of wrongdoing so far. Let me head over to Facebook real quick, make sure that I get my people on board. Sometimes it takes a little while because I gotta change it to public. Now it's public. All right, awesome sauce. And now my peoples in Facebook can follow along. Continue with the hit it and quit it. 65-year-old Betty Smith was shopping in a Linderman grocery store for ice cream for her special needs son and her granddaughter. I'm gonna just say this. She went to the store. She was buying some ice cream. She found $50 on the floor. $50 on the floor was, she just lifted up, said, hey, I guess it's my lucky day. The people that worked at the store tried to detain her, saying that it was theirs. And she was like, how could it be yours? And it was on the floor. Like, what are you talking about? And so, I mean, they used force to detain this lady. And her granddaughter and her daughter came running to the store, about to fight some people. They called the cops. The cops come, and then they giving the grandmom and the mom and the daughter grief. The granddaughter grief. And it's like, y'all ain't say nothing to these. And it was white people that ran the store and a black woman, and then got white cops, and it was just craziness. It was, oh my gosh. But anyway, the police arrested the granddaughter and charged her with assault without trying to de-escalate the situation. Reports or statements being made. The store owner offered to pay the bail and rewarded her the $50, but the lady declined, and she's seeking legal help right now. The 3 white racist employees were fired. Body cam footage and more have been submitted to a higher authority, and potential charges may be pressed against the store and former employees. North Carolina man, 26-year-old Terry McMillan Jr. was arrested last Tuesday and charged with first-degree robbery and murder of an 83-year-old Home Depot worker after a shoplifting incident. The employee tried to stop McMillan from exiting the store with 3 pressure washers he had in his shopping cart. Well, Terry pushed the employee, who fell to the ground and had to be hospitalized. The victim spent his 83rd birthday in a hospital days before he passed away on November 30th. I understand why he was trying to stop a thief anyway. Working in retail, I can tell you that's a no-no. Because you never know if somebody got a gun, a knife, whatever. I remember working at Walgreens. This one woman tried to stop this shoplifter and got stabbed. I used to just try to reason with people and be like, please put that back. But if they're gonna leave with the stuff, they're gonna leave with the stuff. And I'm not gonna chase them, I'm not gonna do none of that crazy stuff. Because if you leave that store chasing after the shoplifter, the store is not going to help you. They're gonna say that you was in violation of the policy. And if something happens to you, they ain't gonna pay for nothing. They ain't gonna pay for your hospital bills, nothing. They're pretty much telling you don't be a hero. Florida woman, 31-year-old Gabriella McCluskey, must have lost her mind. Police received a call reporting that a woman was standing at a bus stop holding a knife and threatening to cut off a man's penis. She then got into a vehicle and left the scene. The man told deputies he doesn't know why the woman was threatening him. Deputies located her car at a store and tried to perform a traffic stop. McCluskey sped off. The 5-minute chase ended at her home, where she barricaded herself inside for several hours. Okay, focus, camera, focus. She was charged with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon and fleeing law enforcement. Wow, she was doing a little much. A substitute in Richmond, California, has been fired after a video captured him allegedly slamming a student to the ground in retaliation to the student repeatedly using a racial slur. He is facing possible charges, and the school district released this statement: the student is safe with their family, and our school and district are fully investigating the incident. It was caught on camera, though. The Black Student Union organized a gathering to call out the use of racial slurs, with many of the students expressing positive views of the teacher. The district, however, determined that the teacher was wrong and does not have the authority to deal with the student no matter what slur was used. The student's punishment will be as the administration sees fit, with being expelled or suspended. Mary Beth Ford pulls her son out of Lewis Pizzit's middle school in Vestavia Hills, Alabama. These names, oh my gosh, after repeated reports of racial slurs and bullying began to affect his behavior and mental health. Since then, the video has went viral, and it encouraged parents to come forward about their student being treated the same way at the very same school. Some of the children attending had even contemplated suicide. And I also believe that it wasn't the mom that made the video, it was his aunt that made the video. But very unfortunate, very unfortunate. And I'm glad they actually pulled him out of the school. An employee of the Oak Lawn Funeral Home in Pensacola, Florida, was found dead after police were alerted that another employee had walked in on another one actively engaging in sexual activity with a corpse. Point blank period. Employee walks in, sees another employee having sex with a corpse, reports that employee, the employee that was doing the alleged act, went off and I guess feeling like they was going to get caught or they was going to get found guilty, decided to end their own life, unalive themselves with a self-inflicted gunshot to the head. And it was 10 minutes away from the funeral home. So I guess he was like, I'm caught and I'm probably going to face a lot of different charges. I'm probably going to go to jail or whatever. So yeah, that's how that ended. 3 Chicago men, Kristen Bowie, 31, Harold Wade, 29, and Antonio Johnson, 42, were arrested. First of all, y'all too old to be doing some stupid stuff like this. Were arrested after they allegedly traveled to Pittsburgh, rented a Porsche, and stole $200K worth of catalytic converters back in December of last year. The GPS tracker on the car was the only evidence the officers needed to convict the 3 men. So the car y'all rented told on y'all. Y'all stupid. Milwaukee police arrested kids 485 times last year for stolen cars. All of the numbers were for kids under the age of 16 in 2022. Police say they arrested children 409 times for auto thefts and 76 times for armed robbery. In 2021, it was 554 times for auto thefts and 54 times for armed robbery. Whew. 29-year-old woman arrested after enrolling in New Jersey high school posing as a student. She was identified as Hee Jong Shin. She was enrolled into the school using fake documents and attended classes for 4 days before being caught. What is this? Never been kissed? 2023? Like, stop it. Y'all can't all be Drew Barrymore. Stop trying to be like Drew Barrymore. Jeez. Michigan pastor Gerald Johnson, who temporarily died, claims he went to hell and was tortured as demons sung karaoke to Rihanna's song Umbrella. But the biggest question is, why you go to hell, sir? Ain't you a pastor? The math ain't mathing. Why was that the first place you went? See, you gotta think about it. Doesn't make any sense now, does it? Starting February 1st, YouTube will start sharing ad money with YouTube Shorts creators. This could make people's attention spans even shorter for people who upload regular content. Illinois man, 18-year-old Julian Pinedo, was charged for stabbing a 14-year-old girl who refused to have sex with him. He stabbed her multiple times with an 8-inch knife. He fled the scene, but later called 911 and admitted to his crime, with his reason for it being anger. His bond was set to $2 million. Good. A Florida 36-year-old Peaches Sturgill was arrested and charged for allegedly engaging in years-long romance scam, defrauding an 87-year-old Holocaust survivor of $2.8 million. Dang. Goodness gracious. Unnamed Rancier Middle School in Killeen, Texas. I bet she was a white racist teacher. But she separated from the school. She separated from the school. She didn't get fired, but she separated from the school after she assigned the N-word with the hard along with other racial slurs as weekly vocabulary words. She included word searches, filled in the blank worksheets, and had students unscramble letters to make the words and make their own sentences. The district made a statement and sent out apology letters to the parents, and the parents aren't falling for it in concern for their kids' safety and education at the school. The district did not name the teacher in order to protect her. Moving on. Meanwhile, in ATL, the New Globe Baptist Church has caught the attention of many with their controversial approach to gaining new members with their no dress code policy, along with the advertisement of seductively dressed women with their social media pages in an attempt to attract more people to their services. Some people are saying it's satire, but those pictures were a little racy. It was like boobs everywhere. And some people was making a comment like, what is the old and new strippers going to this church? Crazy, crazy. Brothers of New Era Detroit pump gas, load groceries, and look over Black women moving around Detroit after dark. And I'm wondering, does Philly have a chapter of Brothers of New Era? Maybe that's something we need to get on board with, huh, brothers? Local news. A new drug has hit the streets of Philly with the small community of Kensington, aka Zombie City. The drug is called xylazine. It's used to stretch fentanyl. It's a sedation drug, a muscle relaxer used in animals, usually used in horses. So you can refer to it as a horse tranquilizer. Suspect 24-year-old Edwin Vargas has been arrested for an ambush shooting in Philadelphia Mayfair neighborhood, a quadruple shooting that left 3 people dead on January 9th near Roland Avenue and Gulford Street. You may remember the shooting as the one that claimed the lives of 3 men, 18, 19, and 24, and critically injured a 28-year-old male as they were returning from a shopping trip to the mall. A minivan with several suspects pulled up and began firing over what police count as more than 50 shots. And some victims were even run over by the same van before leaving the scene. Point Breeze around 20th and Mifflin in Philadelphia, men in Amazon outfits robbed home and assault those inside. Men were held at gunpoint and pistol whipped as a woman who was present was sexually assaulted. They may owe off with maybe $160 in some phones. Look out for men dressed in Amazon or Verizon outfits. That seems to be the theme lately. Obituaries. Annie Wersham of 24, Bosch, and Timeless. Now I watched Timeless faithfully, and she was such a dynamic character in that show. She lost her battle with cancer at the age of 45 years old. American Idol star C.J. Harris dies at the age of 31. And Enki Boys, the father, Randy Gonzalez, he succumbed to his colon cancer at the age of 35. The birthdays that were celebrated this past week was Alicia Keys, she turned 42, Anita Baker, and tomorrow, I believe, is Oprah's birthday. So there you go, a bunch of Aquariuses. And I celebrated my birthday on the 24th. So there you go. And I know this is going to be a special episode too, because it's season 2, episode 4, 2, 4. Yeah, I'm corny like that. Anyway, Legends of the Streets tour kicks off February 2023, right around the corner, y'all, with Jeezy, Rick Ross, T.I., Gucci Mane, 2 Chainz, Ja Rule, Jadakiss, Cameron, Trina with special guest P-Valley's own Juicy Fruit. Stops include NOLA, Houston, Dallas, Greensboro, and Cincinnati. Should they make a stop somewhere else? Comment below if you would like to see this lineup in your own town. Saturday and Sunday, March 4th and 5th, the Soul to Soul tour is in AC. Kim Ledisi and special guest Music Soul Child at the Hard Rock Hotel and Casino. www.raphooks.com. Raphooks, a platform created by Uncle Marvin Music on IG, is where you can take courses on creating hits, branding, streaming, social media marketing, music marketing, learning how to monetize your platforms, landing placements and major playlisting, collaborating with any artist, producer, or engineer 24/7 worldwide, and showcasing your talents to the world. Follow Uncle Marvin Music on IG and tell him Chivalafai Her sent you, and get started today on taking your music career to the next level. Raphooks works with us, not for us. And that was our Hit It and Quit It. Before I continue with my show, I want to jump to the comments and see who is in the building tonight. Oh, we got Triple Fire. He said, "Welcome to Think Different TV." What's up, Triple Fire? He's commenting up a storm, and I'm I'm letting it marinate a little bit, seeing some more people join into the fray. Feel free to comment. Cigar Williams is on. What's up? What's up? He says, "Hey. What's up? I appreciate you, my brother, for stopping in to Think Different TV." Feel free to comment. There is a link on both to join into the backstage if you feel frisky and want to comment on the topics. And tonight we have a hot topic for you. What is it? Make it hot top.
I'm coming in hot.
So tonight's topic, y'all, baby, it is gonna be a spicy one, all right? So the first 3 episodes of this season has been our single mom series. We had the first one being part 1, being a single mama flex. Check that one out. Make sure y'all watch the replays. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, Think Different TV. Part 2 was married single moms. Very interesting topic. Some people don't believe it's so, but it very much is. Single mom series part 3 was dating pains of single parents. We explored all the different things that we got to go through as single parents, trying to date in this crazy world today. And today we're going to pivot, okay? We've been talking about single moms, but let's pivot a little bit, all right? We got a TDTV exclusive on paternity fraud. Now, let me tell you guys, I've been racking my brain about how I'm going to start this off, but I feel like I need to visually show you exactly what I mean when I mean paternity fraud.
Paternity fraud is when a man is incorrectly identified as the biological father of a child. If you're not married and you have doubts that you're the father, make sure you do this. Do not sign the voluntary declaration of paternity. Make sure you're not on the birth certificate. If the mother files and serves a petition, request a DNA test. If you are married and you have doubts, you have 2 years from the birth of the baby to challenge paternity. After that, you'll be deemed the legal father of the child, even if DNA tests reveal later that you're not the biological father.
I know that one went really, really quickly, but the gist of it is that paternity fraud. So let me define this for you guys. Paternity fraud is a term used when a woman falsely chooses a man knowingly and designates him as the biological father of her child, even though he is not. Normally, when these situations occur, it is financially motivated, meaning, you get benefits through the state. If you get cash assistance, you have to name the father. All right. Not necessarily for food stamps. Not necessarily for food stamps. But if you're getting cash assistance or any type of housing assistance or anything like that, you have to name the father of your child. And a lot of times women, they go in and they know that there is doubt. There's doubt. I don't know if this guy is a father, this guy is a father, this guy is a father, this guy is a father. They don't know. But they just pick one out the sky. Sometimes it's the guy that they know has the most money. Like Quinta Brunson used to say back in the day when she was getting her start. Oh, he got money. Is paternity fraud illegal? Well, fraud is illegal. However, when it comes to establishing paternity, many, if not the majority of men who have proven they were misled and seek retribution have fallen short in court. The problem is the problem for most of these men is finding enough evidence that the mother intentionally misled the alleged father into believing he is the biological father of the child. Another issue men have is waiting for years to perform a DNA test. It may be in a man's best interest to perform a paternity test soon after the child is born. Due to the lack of evidence presented in court by the alleged father, most of the time, mothers are seldom prosecuted for their fraudulent behavior. Hence the reason so many men are supporting children that are not biologically related to themselves. All right. Now, how often does this happen? You will be surprised, or maybe not. But here are the statistics.
30% of the males who get DNA tested annually, according to the American Association of Blood Banks, which is the accrediting body for the DNA labs. This is over 44 DNA labs throughout the United States. They are testing close to 500,000 men per year, and over 30% of them have been confirmed that he didn't do it. 0.0% paternity. But sadly, because this primarily affects men and boys, there's been attempts to try to discredit me. The problem is not the men who got tested. The problem is laws that subscribe to the Me Too movement. They say, believe all women. Cornell Smith says, believe all evidence.
I don't know about y'all, but I don't like people who are dishonest. If you ever are a woman that feels like if you're a woman who knows that there is a possibility that your child may have different candidates for the father, the possible paternity, y'all need to be upfront about this, because y'all could devastate several people by being dishonest. There are so many people affected by the lie. There is the most important person that's affected by the lie, and that is the child. All right. Child didn't ask to be brought into this world. Now they brought into a world of chaos and confusion because you don't know who the father is, and you didn't do your due diligence to make sure that you knew who the father was of your child before before the child got older. Some people wait till their child is like 5, 6, 7, 30 something years old before they decide to go and get them tested. And do I put all the blame on women? No. I put the blame on dishonest women who are not upfront and say, hey, there's a possibility you are not the father. I was sexually involved with this man at the same time, so there's a possibility. Got to be upfront and honest about that, because then nobody can come at you and be like, oh, well, you ain't never tell me. You wasn't honest. No, I told you. And it was up to you if you wanted to be there or not. All it takes is a little bit of communication, and a lot of people are not doing that. It happens a lot amongst people who are not wed, who just had a one night stand, who just was just whatever. And that's why a lot of times paternity is called into question because of one night stands and not being protected and this and the third. And am I knocking people? Listen, I'm not judging you. Do what you want to do, but just be aware of the consequences that come with your actions. There's rewards and there's consequences. You got to know both, and you got to be prepared for both of them, right? There's a question: can I sue a mother for lying about paternity? It's possible you can sue the mother, but you have to have strong evidence she intentionally deceived you. In the event you win your court case in an Iowa case that ruled in favor of the alleged father, the Supreme Court stated that the mother committed fraud by misleading the alleged father into believing he was the father of the child. During the court case, the alleged father was fighting for custody and the mother requested genetic testing be performed. So he wanted to have custody of his kids, and she was like, let's do a DNA test. Why are you asking for a DNA test? I thought you knew I was the father. See, stuff like that got you scratching your head, got you wondering, right? So we already pretty much ran through the stats. 30%. That's over a quarter. And that's just other people that got tested, that was told, that, that made up their mind to go get tested. There's still men out there raising kids that's not theirs. There's still, there's so many things that come with this. There's so many different facets of this particular thing, right? The sad thing is that men feel like they have no rights when it comes to something like this.
Right now, it's perfectly legal in all 50 states for a woman to have a child and never tell the biological father. It's also legal in all 50 states for a woman to have a child and make the biological father pay for that child. So basically, men don't have a right to become a father, and men don't have a right not to become a father. And worse than that, in most states, the woman can knowingly name the wrong man on the birth certificate with little to no consequence. Meaning, children don't have the right to know who their biological father is, and men don't have the right to know who our biological children are. So here's my question for Selena Gomez. Should men have any rights when it comes to our children?
Now, I don't know about the Selena Gomez part, but that puppet brought up a lot of good points, all right? They don't have a say in, my body, my choice. And I'm a big proponent for that. Yes, your body, your choice. Here's the thing. When it comes to the father, if you say, I want to keep the baby and everything like that, and this guy obviously does not want to keep the baby, right? And then it's not even for sure, for certain, if you know if that's the father. You consider some women, they're just so sneaky. They're so sneaky. They just be like, yo, you're the father, this and third, give the whole crocodile tears, and be making the guy feel all bad for even questioning. And the whole time they know in their heart that this guy is not the father, or is a possibility that he could not be the father. Y'all heard about Neo for years. Neo paid child support to an ex-girlfriend for a boy she claimed was his. A DNA paternity test eventually proves he wasn't the biological father. But because the state of California considers any man to be the father, if he puts himself out there as one, the mother can come after that man financially as if he were the biological father. And they definitely gonna come after you if you making bank. If you make a good amount of money, they definitely gonna hold you to that, because they want the child to be financially supported, even if it's in spite of they want to make sure that the child is straight, even if it causes detriment to the man who's supporting the child and knows that it's not his child. In 2010, the California Supreme Court refused to review a tough court decision for a homeless man, Harvey Wilburn. Way back in 1991, Wilburn was named as the father of a 5-year-old child, even though he was never properly informed by the state. He was subsequently ordered to pay child support, despite the fact that a 2008 paternity test excluded him as a possible father, and that he never acted as a father of the child. The court stated that the mother was entitled to back child support payment in the tens of thousands of dollars. How? He ain't even the father. Just because the mom named him. Pennsylvania resident Mike L. was the subject of a heart-wrenching New York Times article back in 2005 when the tidal wave of paternity fraud awareness was really starting to grow. Mike divorced his wife, the mother of his daughter, when he discovered an affair and a paternity test proved the child wasn't his. He paid child support and nurtured his parental relationship for years, even though he was not his daughter's biological father. He continued to dutifully pay support until his ex decided to marry the man whom she claimed was the biological father. Mike filed to end his financial obligations to his daughter since the biological father would now be in the household. He ultimately discovered he loved the girl so much he couldn't deny legal paternity and risk losing all contact with her. So that's another thing. It's like you stand to lose a child because you want to fight for your rights. Isn't that messed up? You're like, I want to fight for my right as a father, and I want to fight for my right as a man who is being told that I'm the father and I'm not the father. But in doing so, in standing up for yourself, now you're causing a rift between you and your child because you've been supporting so long. And there's a lot of unpopular opinions by women regarding paternity, this being one of them.
That women who knowingly put a baby on a man that they know is not theirs should get jail time and have to pay child support back. So if we reverse the roles and you're a piece of shit mom that knew that you opened your legs to somebody else, but you pinned it on somebody that you knew would be a better father, how is that not a reason to have to pay for that? You just ruined two people's lives, that child and that man.
It already has a name called paternity fraud. When you have a chance, please go back and watch our unpopular but very much loved opinion video. Not only do I think it should be a criminally punishable law, because at the end of the day, it's still a form of fraud. Child support payment should be recouped by the father who is not the biological father. And in situations where the woman was married to a man, she should be paying that man child support for the years that he took care of that child.
You just ruined two people's lives, that child and that man.
And it's not that I disagree with it. It's just that in some situations, it's more than just that child and that man who's been lied to. In some situations, the biological father's been lied to. Mine in particular, I believe the biological father doesn't even know that that child exists, but yet this one woman has lied to several people and has continued to try to maintain this lie and profit off of it financially. Yet, where are her consequences? Make paternity fraud a real crime. Because at minimum, there are two victims in this situation. One of them is a child who did not ask to be part of any of this.
And y'all know finding paternity fraud victims is not difficult. Television host Maury Povich has made a career out of bringing scandalous paternity fraud stories to homes across America. But the child support bureaucracy has chosen not to quantify or identify them. We also got another show, Paternity Court. There's a lot of different shows that started touching on paternity because it's happened so often. But listen, default judgments are not the only way of obtaining a false paternity establishment. Men who are married to the mother when a child is conceived or born are automatically the presumed father under the law. As we talked about Mike L. from Pennsylvania. The man has a very limited time to contest paternity, creating more paternity fraud victims. After the birth of the child, hospitals ask the father, presumed fathers, to sign acknowledgement of paternity forms, whether they know for certain the child is theirs or not. Failure to sign a form is viewed negatively. Even if DNA test proves he is not the father later on down the line, he is still held liable. All right, taking into consideration all sources of false paternity establishments in the 18 to 21 lifespan of a child support order, an estimate of 1 million obligor paternity fraud victims in the United States might be conservative. Whether the number is 1 million, 100,000, or 10,000, significant numbers of paternity fraud victims exist and are suffering from the burdens imposed by false paternity establishments. Unfortunately, there have been no interest in counting or identifying the number of victims, and may be due to every paternity fraud being seen as an embarrassment to the child support bureaucracy. Each paternity fraud victim is a potential reduction in performance statistics. Only the victims want to be counted, and they do not control the research budget. Ain't that something? Ain't that something? So listen, there are preventative measures, and there's things that could be put in place so this stuff doesn't happen as often.
Family court needs a reform ASAP. Here are 9 things the court needs to prevent child support and paternity fraud. Required paternity tests prior child support payments. $24K per year threshold on child support. Child support must only be for child expenses and not for parent expenses such as rent, mortgage, car notes, clothes, travel, lifestyle. You get the idea. Parents receiving child support is still liable for covering out-of-pocket costs such as housing, food, and other child expenses. If the parent requires more than $24K per year of child support, then the child should stay with the higher earning parent. If the child is staying with the higher earning parent, then child support is not required. Child support is not income replacement for the parent. If mother is found guilty of intentional paternity fraud, then she will have to pay back all the child support. This will disincentivize parents from making financial gains and committing fraud. If there's DV in the home, then the parent committing DV will obviously not have primary custody, provided there's real proof. Subscribe to my YouTube channel for more videos.
My opinion is that DNA should be part of the maternity package in hospitals, DNA testing. Like, let a man move out of that hospital when he knows for sure that he is the father to that child. You see, women will always talk about the pain of losing a child.
Yes.
You get? We say, oh my God, like even if the child that has died is not yours, as a mother, there is a way you feel that pain, yet the child is not yours. And I would like to equate that pain to the pain a man that was present, a man that loves the child, a man that loved being a father feels when he learns that the child he's been loving and caring for is not his.
And for all of the women who will complain that men are deadbeats, men don't care for children, men abandon children, it always seems to be the case that the men that want the children the most and who love the children are the ones who get played like that.
I know. Life is not fair. I mean, some women are out there stuck because the kids they had, the fathers are deadbeats. And then there are men out here who want to be fathers. And they cannot be fathers because you could not keep your legs closed. This is so wrong.
Wow. Before I move on to the next video, woo, that is a conundrum, right? You have women out here that, like she said, are stuck with men who are deadbeat fathers who don't take care of the responsibilities, and they know who their fathers, who the fathers of their children are. And then you have the men who want to step up and be fathers who get played and get told that they are the father, and so they do everything right, they do what they're supposed to do, and then come to find out that they're not the fathers. Here's another preventative method. Actually, it's just a guy that was being interviewed, and he was talking about the statistics and also the importance of, well, not the importance, but he feels that paternity tests should be mandatory. But I got something for y'all after this clip.
Anywhere from 5 to 30% of the general population, men are raising and paying for children that are not theirs and don't know. According to the American Association of Blood Banks, between 25 and 30% of the males who are accused of being the father, they take a paternity test and find out they did not do it.
Are you for mandatory DNA testing at birth?
I am absolutely on record as saying that if we want to prevent the problem of having men challenge paternity later down the road, then let's apply a proactive solution. Automatic DNA testing at birth would work to help two things. One, we would assure that the right parents were named on the birth certificate. Two, it would stop paternity fraud and take the profit out of paternity fraud.
But so many women's groups say this wouldn't be fair. You're acting like you don't trust the mother. Why do you think they say that?
It's a red herring. It takes away from the focus of, well, who's the one person who has all of the information about potential fathers or the paternity candidates? It is the child's mother. And currently, in most places, she has no duty to disclose that, well, wait a minute. Well, my husband's not really my child's father. My boyfriend is. Like, well, wait, lady. But you're married. You forgot that you were married? No. But thanks to no-fault divorce laws, she can get the house, the property, alimony, and child support, and then move the boyfriend into the house. Why
people,
would she tell the truth?
The system doesn't make it easy. So speaking of the system, what are you doing or what have you done to help change some of these laws that are so unfair to men?
Well, it's actually unfair to men, women, and children. See, I'm the guy that's officially on record saying that every child deserves to know the truth about their heritage, their ancestry. And you can't do that when you only rely on verbal representations, just take somebody's word for it. Oh, yeah, that's your dad. Yeah, but he looks like the FedEx guy. Oh, no. Well, actually, it could be the milkman. Well, no, we no longer have a milkman, but here's the problem. I have been very instrumental in raising the public awareness on the issue of paternity fraud as a problem that needs to be corrected.
And I'm sure he had so much more to say about that particular issue, but he said a lot in that one clip, y'all. He said a lot. And listen, I'm not saying, so some women might be like, oh, you doing this, you will pick me and this and that, because I guess that's like the saying now, but that's not the case. I just want to bring awareness to this. My show is based upon making sure people are educated and entertained. And this is very much education. I like to bring awareness to things that people don't talk about. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about these women who are out here committing paternity fraud, racking up money, millions of dollars, thousands of dollars, or whatever, what have you, from men who aren't even the fathers of their children, who are naming fathers of their children they know are not the fathers of their children, just so they can have a comeuppance when it comes to child support or even just assistance from the state. It's not fair to the person that you name, that you know is not the father. It's not fair to the child, and it's not fair to the person who is potentially the biological father. I watched the episode of Judge Judy where y'all know I love my stuff some Judge Judy, and it was a case where a man was bringing a woman on there to sue her for child support payments, and it was just 2 months of child support payments, and it was the child support payments that she received after finding out that he was not the father of the child in court. And for some reason, it takes a while for the system to catch on, like to stop the payments. So she still got 2 payments after that, but she never sent them the money back. And she tried to say, oh, well, we needed the money. We, meaning her and the biological father of the child. Oh, yes, she was living with the biological father of the child, because they got back together and they already had a child together. But I guess because he wasn't in the picture, she decided to put pinning on this guy, and he was pretty much trapped with, taking care of the child financially until it was proven that he was not the father. And here's the crazy thing about it. When you sign the birth certificate, when a man signs the birth certificate, it's very hard. It's very hard for him to be taken off the birth certificate because it's like a binding document. It's a legal contract. So when a man signs the birth certificate, it's like he locked in for 21 years. It used to be 18, but I guess they're starting to realize like some kids, they need support up until 21 years old. So you're on the hook for 21 years. And it could be proven that you're not even the father of this child. Now you're locked in because you signed a legally binding contract between you, the mother, and the child. And I think that's so crazy that women actually let these men put themselves in this position. But you know what? I can't just blame the women. It's the men's fault too. If you even have a little bit of doubt in the back of your mind, little bit of doubt, get the baby tested. Now, you need the mother to be there because in order for the DNA test to work, you need both, samples from them. You need samples from the mom, the dad, and the baby. All right, to prove paternity. And so she's going to have to consent to a paternity test. I think any woman that puts up a fight when it comes to that, you must not trust me, and this and third, stop it, because you probably hiding something, or you're not sure. Because any woman that's secure in herself wouldn't even fix herself to say, you just not believing me and blah 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 blah. All right. So I want to now show y'all who it affects. I talked about what it is, but now I'm going to talk about who it hurts. All right. So I'm just going to play these back to back to back to back, so y'all won't see me for a while, but just know that I'm here. But I want y'all to comment and share y'all opinions on this very sensitive and serious topic.
Mandatory paternity, mandatory paternity, mandatory paternity, mandatory paternity. I think paternity should be mandatory. If you don't, then maybe you should listen to my story. I'ma keep the story short because it's so long. Thought I had a faithful wife, oh, I was so wrong. Took 6 years to find out, victim of a crime. DNA results show that he wasn't mine. It's very simple to see that this is so wrong, but Virginia doesn't recognize paternity fraud. So those are my years of wasted, can't be compensated. That's not the worst part. Oh, you're gonna hate it. Can be placed on child support. Now that makes no sense. The biological father don't know the child exists. Now the mother walks away like she didn't cause this whole thing. The state won't hold her to any accountability. Now before anybody says you should have watched you had kids with, you went sad to a woman who's a victim of domestic violence. Well, let's test these babies each and every time. If not, let's make paternity fraud a nationwide crime. Now the biggest victim in this should be evident. It's the baby who did not ask to be part of this. Mandatory paternity, mandatory paternity, mandatory paternity,
I lied. Y'all seen me for a little bit because my simple self, I went to something else. But here's the next video.
Was there ever a shadow of doubt when you looked at him, whether he was yours?
There was a few things that didn't add up. When Rory was born, he's a mini-me. Like he didn't resemble me at all, I don't reckon. But I used to just put it in the back of your mind all the time, thinking, oh, she told me he belonged to me.
Mick's a proud father and shared a deep passion for sport with Lockie.
There wasn't nothing he couldn't do in sport.
But on April 30, 2019, Lockie's heart suddenly stopped while he was at footy training in his hometown of Harvey, Western Australia.
The
phone call was Lockie's collapsed on the footy oval. And they said they're working on him. The phone rang again, and it was a copper on the phone. He said he's gone.
The 20-year-old's death shattered the small community, but no one more so than his parents, Mick and Mel.
When it's actually your son, you're not meant to bury your son. They're supposed to bury you.
Our final lap of honour.
Lockie was so popular, his funeral was covered by local news.
Today, to say goodbye is the hardest thing I've ever had to do.
You ended every conversation with "I love you, Dad." And there's nothing I'll give to you to tell me that one more time. I love you.
In the months that followed, the family wanted answers about Lockie's death, but got none.
Sudden heart failure, that's the only answer I really got.
But more than a year later, out of the blue, Mick says Mel got a call from a genetic testing team at Perth's King Edward Memorial Hospital, where Lockie was born.
They contact Mel because Mel's next to kin. So Mel's contacted me to say, they want to do some testing and stuff.
But that's all the information Mick received from his ex.
I've tried to find out some more information off her about what this testing is. She never passed on any information. So I said to Shana, something doesn't add up here. Surely you can't be that heartless to think, I've got kids now and this could be something I've passed on to my kids or whatever.
So Mick's partner, Shana Timmer, got to work.
I just Googled genetic testing WA and I emailed people, I would ring people.
Months passed with no luck until finally a breakthrough.
Luke, I went back to the drawing board in WA and I found King Eddie's.
Desperate for answers, Mick got in touch with the hospital.
She said out of every 5 unexplained deaths, through genetic testing, 1 in 5 can be solved.
Mick got tested and told he's fine, so he turned his attention to Mel.
So I put it to her and said, I'm not carrying the gene. And she goes, nor am I. So I just said to her, next thing was, where did it come from?
What did she say?
She just went all quiet, and then on the phone, didn't she? And then
hung up pretty quick,
and then that's when the text messages started.
In a text message to Mick, Mel confessed her big lie, that Lockie's paternity was always in doubt.
I'm sorry I couldn't talk. I froze both times you rang. It's the week leading up to our son's birthday. I just want to let you know that there was one other person, one time, one only. Yes, you could have the test and we find that you are not the biological father, but you are and always will be his dad. I know I should have said something at the time, but I know I made a mistake and I knew that you were going to be a good dad.
You've raised this child for 20 years and in one text message, she finally admits the paternity was in doubt. What was that feeling?
I lost someone twice. It's bad enough to lose someone once, let alone twice. She goes, I made the decision for you to be the dad. You don't make those decisions. You don't go in a lineup and think, I'll pick him.
Mick hit rock bottom, but needed closure in the form of a paternity test. But to do that, Mel had to sign off on Lockie's DNA being released by the WA coroner.
Mick, as the biological father on his birth certificate, had no rights to Lockie's DNA.
Morgan Wise is the only dad his children have ever known.
This is Raleigh, he's the youngest, Marty, Rowdy, and Carly.
But in just one day, 3 of them lost their father.
Raleigh's the one with cystic fibrosis.
2 years ago, a family doctor informed Wise that genetic tests confirmed he was not a carrier of cystic fibrosis.
And that's when he said, you know, there's no way that this boy could be yours.
Paternity tests revealed Wise did not father Rowley or his two other sons, Marty and Rowdy. Of his 4 children, only the oldest, Carly, was biologically his.
I am their dad. I'm just not your birth father.
Wise never questioned paternity at the time he and the children's mother divorced in 1996. But now he says
Child support needs to come from their biological father.
Texas law disagrees. A judge ruled Wise must continue paying $1,100 a month in child support and then revoked his visitation for telling the boys he was not their birth father. Phyllis Royal represents Wanda Fryer, the children's mother.
These children know Morgan Wise's dad, and basically he's emotionally scarred these children.
The emotional aspect, the psychological aspect has already been inflicted. So what's left? Money. That's it. She wants the money, he doesn't want to pay it.
The courts have always assumed that a child born within a marriage was fathered by the husband. And if a man questioned paternity, he had to do so before a custody battle was settled. But DNA testing has become so easy and so popular that dozens of complicated cases like this one are now clogging the system. Paternity testing has spawned a whole new industry. In Baltimore, billboards for one lab have this famous forefather hawking the latest DNA technology. And last year, more than 250,000 men bought into it. The results, roughly 30% who took the test found out it wasn't them. For the sake of the child, family law experts believe the courts are unlikely to catch up with science.
They're very reluctant to leave a child without support.
Financial or emotional. So,
who's the victim here?
I want to say me first, because this was done to me because I was her husband and the children.
Some might argue it's the other way around. But Morgan Wise and thousands lined up behind him appear willing to test that theory.
Hey, what's up, guys? This is Carnell Alexander. Back in 2016, he was pulled over for what he thought was a regular traffic stop until he found out that when the arresting officer called him a deadbeat dad, he had no idea what in the world this guy was talking about. Paternity fraud is a real serious issue because many states don't even consider it to be illegal. So what we're going to do right now is I'm going to show you the news clip back from his 2016 case, and I'm also going to show you other men that this happened to as well. Let's go.
Yes, men, you need to know this. You can have a DNA test in your hand that, as Maury Povich would say, says you are not the father. You can go to court and a judge can still say you owe child support. On 7 Action News at 11, I spoke to 4 men who took DNA tests to court and did not get the response they expected or feel they should have gotten. They are what we call dads by default.
DNA was established, and I was not the father scientifically. No relationship with child, no relationship with woman, but the great old friend of the court system tells me I'm legally responsible for this child.
I'm getting garnished, I'm getting thrown in jail, I'm getting felony charges.
You have taken our lives. You've taken these kids' life. They don't even know they're real parents.
Change that law.
Imagine being told to pay child support for a kid that is not yours or go to jail. That was the order the state handed down to a Detroit man.
Carnell Alexander walked into the Frank Murphy Hall of Justice knowing in moments he could lose his freedom.
I stayed up all night, couldn't sleep, thinking about it.
Carnell is a wanted man because he refuses to do what the state orders and to pay child support for a child that DNA tests prove isn't his. A child he doesn't even know.
I haven't even had a chance to really speak to him except for one time when we took the DNA test.
Nonetheless, right now, under the law, he's a deadbeat dad. Today, he turned himself in to the judge as ordered.
Scared because I've been before this judge before.
But this time he had attorney Cherika Harris, who volunteered to help after seeing his story on 7 Action News. The judge said he will not go to jail for today.
Thank you. Thank Ms. Harris. And hope that we can resolve this soon.
I'm just trying to help him with his future. Though the threat of jail is on hold, it is not over. Carnell Alexander still owes more than $30,000 to the state for a child that's not his because the mom wrote his name down because she needed to name someone in order to get welfare benefits.
And I had to put him down as the father. That was the only way I can get assistance.
Now,
I'm almost homeless. I'm almost in jail. I'm out of work. My money is being threatened to be taken.
Carnell isn't just worried about how this is impacting him. He says the law needs to be changed so when this happens, as it often does, other men don't become dad by default.
We can be defaulted into being a father of a child that is not ours. I don't understand that law, but it is a law in place.
Listen, guys, I'm just gonna wrap this up. I have one more video to show y'all to wrap it up, but my thing is this: women who have a doubt, please say something. Regardless of how that may end up your it may burst your perfect little bubble. The man might leave you. But at the end of the day, it's better to be honest than be a fraud. It's better to be honest than to have your child suffer later on down the line because you didn't put your big girl panties on and admit what was going on. Men, like I said, if there's any doubt in your mind, get a paternity test, get a DNA test. Even if she sits there and whines and cries and say, how dare you, I thought you loved me, and saying you don't trust me, this, that, third. Get the test done. Do not be one of those people that wait until the child is talking and saying daddy to decide to go get a test. Because what ends up happening is that when a woman gives birth to a child and pretends that someone is the father, the biological father, a bond ordinarily forms between the man and the child comes to think of that man as his father. And most young children, in fact, have no idea what it means to say that someone is or is not their biological father. If a man lives in a house with mom and child and is called daddy, he is, for all practical purposes, the child's father. After forming such a bond, the child grows attached and accordingly perhaps entitled to the father or child relationship on which he has come to rely, and where the mother to try to deny the man access to his legal child. In fact, many might view the acting father as entitled to override her wishes. From the child's perspective, it is fundamentally an act of betrayal for his dad to go into a court of law to prove that the relationship between them has been fraudulent. So it's like damned if you do, damned if you don't. But guess what? If you do it when the child is a baby, firstborn, get it done right there, boom, in that delivery room. Stop waiting till these children can talk and go to school and wash their own butts and then decide, oh yeah, I'm gonna now, go get a paternity test because he's not looking like me. No, get that nipped in the bud right away, regardless of your own personal feelings, because it's not about you and her anymore. It's about the child. And I'm going to play this last video, and then I'm going to let y'all marinate on this hot topic.
It's gotta be a mistake, right? It's a mistake, right?
Last night, before I slept, I was watching clip after clip of the show Paternity Court, and Judge Lauren just kept saying, you are not the father. You are not the father. Out of every 20 clips, 17 at least will be a you are not the father clip, with most of the ladies having committed paternity fraud. How callous can you be, knowing full well that the baby in question is not this guy's, and not only would you give the man grief, you also sue him to court for failing to pay child support over a child you know is not his. Yeah, I know some guys can be really shitty and can be deadbeat dads, but there are really good men out there who wish to step up and be true fathers. They would have formed a bond, a connection with the baby, with the child in question, and out of the blue, something happens, and then the man discovers that the baby he has been doting over is not his child. It's more like ripping the heart out of these people's souls. We are breaking our men and complaining that they are weak and they have become weaklings. Women have broken the souls of men, not just with our words, but with our actions. You have no shame. You have a husband at home and you're sleeping with multiple other guys out there. There were instances during this show where the supposed father is not the real father of the child. The ex is not the real father. A third guy is not the real father, which means that while the person was with a supposed boyfriend, she was slinging it with multiple other guys out there. She cannot even pinpoint who exactly is responsible for the baby in question. That is nonsense. That is nonsense. You can claim your body, your choice, all you want. The decisions you're making for yourself is impacting another human being. Two in this question, the child and then the man. And it's no longer the body, your choice. You have to be responsible for the actions you're making that may damage another person's life for life and forever. The society is this messed up because people are just so freaking self-centered, selfish, promiscuous, and just morally depraved. That is why we are where we are at. We need to do better by our men. In fact, I'm starting to think that if they conducted a DNA test for all the children, for most of us, well, we're going to hear a lot of you are not the father. You are not the father, actually, at this rate. Because it's so obvious how pervasive this paternity fraud issue is. People are out there broken, battered. These men are never able to trust you. They will never be able to trust any other woman again because one woman ruined them for life, spoiled their lives. We need to be really careful and need to be mindful of how we treat other people.
Listen, guys, thank you for listening tonight. I hope this info has helped someone. And this concludes TDTV's Hot Topic.
I'm coming in hot.
Think Different TV is proudly sponsored by Euphoria Water. Euphoria Water is the cleanest, healthiest water in Philly. Alkaline water with minerals, no additives, no chemicals, none of that crazy stuff in it. It is good and good for you. If you're going to hydrate the right way. Get your Euphoria Water today. You can find Euphoria Water on IG at Euphoria Water. That's UPHORIAWATER. Or you can call Captain if you live in the Philadelphia area and want to deliver it straight to your home at 267-707-8279. Y'all, that was the hot topic for the night. Woo! I'm not gonna lie, I was getting a little misty, watching those clips of those men being heartbroken by the devastating news that they are not the father. Paternity fraud is real and it should be a crime. And if you feel that it should be a crime, please voice your opinion, put it out there. Sometimes it could be the strong voice of the people that gets law changed too. And that's all I'm going to say about that. Triva LaFaure said that last clip, Mr. Kaiser was torn up in court. Yes, he was. There was so many other ones, but I felt like if I played the other ones, I would have been up here bawling like a big old baby because, just to see the devastation was just a little too much for me. But guess what? We're going to go into our next thing, which is the music discussion for tonight. All right. So the music discussion is top 200 singers of all time, top 50 rappers of all time. Who is making this list? Well, Rolling Stone has decided to roll out their top 200 singers of all time and their top 50 rappers of all time. And from what I gather, musical talent seems to be a subjective opinion. But when Rolling Stone announced their infamous top list, many tend to be persuaded by the powerful music magazine. Such is the case this week as Rolling Stone just released a list of its 50 top rappers of all time. But previous to that, they released their top 200 greatest singers of all time. And the list touches every genre from modern pop, classic rock, soul, country, and everything in between. As expected, the ranking has caused quite a controversy amongst passionate music heads who disagree. In fact, there has been quite a stir over the exclusion of Celine Dion, who many feel was wronged by the magazine. Now, here's the crazy thing. They say it's subjective. All right. Why do they create these lists? You ever think about it? Is it just so they can get, you know, some viewers, some people to start a conversation, put their magazine back on the map? Because no one reads magazines anymore, really. Everybody goes to the internet and goes to social media for things now. So when Rolling Stone puts out this list, people rush over there to go see who's on these lists. Now, who do y'all feel? Let's just shake it up. Name some singers y'all believe should be on the list. Name some rappers y'all believe should be on the list. Who should be on the list? I think that should take precedence over who ranks on the list, because we can't really, when it comes to singers and different genres, we can't say, oh, well, this one ranks higher than this one, or this one ranks higher than this one, because of the fact that not everybody listens to country. Not everybody listens to rock or pop or whatever, right? So it's hard to really gauge, you know, who is truly the greatest singer of all time, when some people could be like, oh, I think on number one on the list was Aretha Franklin. But there's a lot of people that don't even believe that Aretha Franklin can sing. Some people don't even believe that they don't even know who Aretha Franklin is. Mary J. Blige is on the list. My mom, she gets down with a lot of her music, but she doesn't really particularly like Mary J. Blige's voice all that much. You get what I'm saying? Celine Dion did not make the list. Why is that? She's very much a great singer. Why did she not make the list? So all of these factors combined, I think sometimes it's never going to be like Treva Lafayette says. He says, well, we will never get lists accurate due to opinions. Like, it's subjective. Some people might love Whitney Houston. Some people don't like Whitney Houston. Some people don't love Whitney Houston. Some people might love Mariah Carey. Other people may not love Mariah Carey. Some people might love Christina Aguilera, but some people might be like, she do a little bit too much for me. You get what I'm saying? Some of the people they had on the list, I'm not even gonna lie, I was looking at them and I was like, how did this person, now singer and artist is two different things to me. To say somebody is the greatest singer of all time and say someone is the greatest artist of all time, that's two different things to me. And I believe that some people made the list that were awesome artists, great artists, but they weren't necessarily great vocalists or great singers. Like, well, how are they defining singers? Are they defining singers as, like singers, vocalists, or they're just saying people that perform well or, have hit songs? Like, how are they doing this list? Like, all right, they got let me see. They got Rod Stewart on there. They got Toni Braxton on there. I love Toni Braxton. She's in the top 50 of this list. She definitely has a very distinct voice. Are we talking about distinction? Are we talking about the naturalness of the voice? Are we talking about the different tones? Are we talking about, like, how are we building these lists? Treva Lafayette says, I don't like top rapper lists because people always put the first two people on there based on popular answers. How come everyone's list have Tupac and Biggie at 1 and 2? Yeah. Isn't that something? And then he said that's popular cat, a safe way out to get people to accept the next 5 listed before they argue another placement. So are we basing it off of, you know, how distinct the person's voice is, that you can pretty much pull them out? You can listen to something and know, like, hey, that's Toni Braxton. They got Mavis Maples, they got Ella Fitzgerald. They took it all the way back. They got James Brown, they got Ariana Grande, they got Teddy Pendergrass, they got Etta James, they got Aaliyah on here at 40. They got Louis Armstrong, Curtis Mayfield, they got Van Morrison, Kurt Cobain, Dusty Springfield. And I'm like, and then nothing against Kurt Cobain, but I'm like, I'm listening. I'm like, okay, is it the content of the songs that put people on? Like, is it the voice? Is it the singing, or is it actually the content that they're talking about? Like, this is the thing that gets me about these lists. Now, I looked at the best rappers, and they only released up to 21. They just revealed 30 to 21 this week. So they still got to do the top 20. All right. Now, so far on the list, if I can find the look, there it is. So far on the list, they have Rick Ross at 50, Rev Run, they got Melly Mel, they got MC Light, Jada Kiss, Ice-T, Queen Latifah at 44, Bun B at 43, they got Redman at 42, they got E40 at 41, they got Dr. Dre at 40, Ludacris at 39, Gucci Mane at 38. They have Common at 37. They have Mos Def at 36. They have Future at 35. Chuck D at 34. Busta Rhymes at 33. T.I. at 32. Lil Kim at 31. Lauryn Hill at 30. Pusha T at 29. Black Thought at 28. Q-Tip at 27. Big Pun at 26. Method Man at 25. KRS-One at 24. Curtis Blow at 23. Ghostface Killer at 22. DMX at 21. So that's the list. Excuse me. That's the list so far. Shiva Lafayette says it sounds like it's based on influence and generational impact. He said, what's the top 15? I had no idea because they didn't release it yet. They still have to release the top 20. But that is the list so far. He said the 30s lit. All right. So, like I said, it's very subjective. So, who will the top 20 be? We don't know just yet. They still have to put the list up, but they haven't said LL Cool J yet. They haven't had Eminem up there yet. They haven't had 50 Cent up there yet. So I'm pretty much sure they haven't had Nas up there yet. Jay-Z is not up there yet. So I have a feeling like a lot of artists, a lot of rappers are going to make the top 20 that's going to be amongst the popular rappers. Tupac and Biggie have not been named yet. They may very well be up there. They didn't mention Ice Cube. He might be up there. They might throw Eazy-E in there just for, a little bit of flavoring. Who else with it? It's just they got MC Light and Queen Latifah on here, and Lil Kim. They didn't put Foxy Brown up there yet. Haven't seen Foxy Brown. I haven't seen who's to say they might pick Nicki Minaj in there. What's up, Reg? Thank you for joining in to Think Different TV. They might put Nicki Minaj up there. They might put Cardi B on the list. We don't even know. They still got to release the top 20. So I'm curious to see what is going to be. And this is not Rolling Stone's list. This is Billboard and Vibe top 50 greatest rappers. So just have to see. We just have to see. But that concludes my music discussion. Chivalify says my dog Easy E for sure better be top 20. Like I said, you never know what the top 20 is going to be. They might throw a rapper in there that you ain't never even think was going to get in the top 20 because they want to appease certain audiences. We don't even know. They definitely going to throw Eminem in here. Definitely. But I'm going to be pissed if I see Vanilla Ice up in there. I'll be like, how he get to the top 20? What? Y'all need to stop lying. They have MC Hammer up there. I'll be like, stop your lying. Stop your lying. Ain't nothing wrong with now don't get me wrong, ain't nothing wrong with the music. Cause I was doing Can't Touch This, doing it, I was doing all that. I love me some Hammer Time. But to say he is one of the greatest rappers of all time, I don't know about all that. I don't know about all that. We got to pray just to make it today. I say we pray. Pray. He praying he get on that list. He not gonna get on the list, y'all. I'm sorry. Not gonna happen. All right, y'all. We're gonna switch gears and we're gonna jump into our financial discussion. All right, the financial discussion tonight. I am going to be very brief. Instead of telling your kids you're broke as an excuse to not buy them something, educate them on finances, it's more like a tip rather than a whole discussion. I'm tired of hearing parents say, I'm broke, stop asking me for stuff, I'm broke. See, broke is a mindset. And a lot of people say that when they are unable to manage their money. There are people that can make $10,000, $12,000. Let's say $12,000. Let's make it an even $1,000 a month. They can make $12,000 a year and still make things happen, because they have money management skills. It's people that can have 1.2 million a year and still be broke because they don't know how to manage their money. Now, I'm tired of people always saying to their kids, I'm broke, especially in our community. Get out of saying it. Instead of saying I'm broke, say that particular item is not within our budget. And show them how they can fit that into their budget. Peep game. I know a lot of us parents say our kids should just do chores and this, that, the third. But give them an incentive. Sometimes kids need a little bit of push, and it helps them become business people in the long run. You never know how you affect the child until later on in life. And would you want them to be sitting around being a lazy bum? No. You want them to be productive, right? And sometimes kids are productive when you put that almighty dollar in front of them. See, a lot of these new age kids that's out here getting jobs, the money doesn't move them. It doesn't. Or the money moves them, but the lack of responsibility keeps them stagnant. And what I mean by that is when they don't have no bills to pay, when they don't have no responsibilities as far as that is concerned, they are not worried or bothered with working. They don't care about working. They're like, oh, well, mom's going to take care of this. Dad's going to take care of that. I don't need to work. And that's very detrimental to your kids. Now, let's get back to this broke mindset real quick. Let's talk about this broke mindset. This broke mindset be getting me, right? Because I have to tell myself not to say it at times, even in a joking manner, because I'm not broke. I'm not broke. I'm able to pay my bills. I'm able to get things in order. There was a time when I was lacking funds. I was financially handicapped, but praise God, I'm not in that situation anymore. But I had to keep a positive mindset, because if I kept thinking I'm never going to get out of this rut, I would have never gotten out of that rut. See, the thing is that sometimes saying you're broke can keep you in that state of mind, keep you in that place of brokenness. You don't want to keep in that place of brokenness. You don't want to stay in that place of brokenness. You want to get out of that place of brokenness. I believe words are very powerful, and they hold a lot in them. And that when you speak certain words over your life, what ends up happening is that it becomes true. And when you sit up there and you say, oh, we're broke, we're broke, we're broke, we're broke. Well, guess what's going to happen? You're going to end up being broke for real. So educate your kids on finances. Sit them down. Show them what the budget looks like. Don't keep those things from your kids. You want them to be out here financially handicapped? You want them to not know what the dollar can do for them? Oh, you just want them to know what they have to go out there and do for the dollars, right? Guess what? That's going to keep them in the same mindset. And guess what? They're going to start at zero. And guess what? They're going to always be dependent upon you to get them out of a jam, because they won't have the capability and the resources and the tips and all of those things to get out of it themselves. I would say my parents, they was hard on me, but not hard on me in the way you may think. They didn't always bail me out of every jam that I got into. They gave me the chance to figure it out myself. Now, was I resentful at times? Absolutely. Because I was like, how could you let me suffer? I'm your child. I'm your children. All right? But at the same time, thank God that they let me figure out things for myself, because when times got tough and things got hard, I didn't crawl up into a ball and just say, oh, I hate my life. I can't do nothing. I went out and made something happen and got back on track. And could my parents have sat me down and showed me what a budget was, how I could budget money, how I could bring in money and manage money a little bit better? Absolutely, they could have. But I'm not dwelling in the past. My purpose now is to teach that to my son, to be able to manage money the correct way, make sure that the dollar is working for him and he's not out there killing himself for the dollar. We have to be able to change and be the change we want to see. If we want better things to happen in generations to come, we have to take the reins and say, no more. No more of this generational poverty. No more of this broke, five broke. We ain't got it. We not doing that no more. We got to pull everything in there. We have to make sure our kids know finances. Stop hiding stuff from them. Stop saying, stay out of adult stuff, stay in a child's place. Start with baby steps. Give them an allowance. Put it in their piggy bank. But show them, listen, a piggy bank is like a savings account. Your money's just going to sit in there, and it's just going to be the amount of money that you put in there. Now, compound interest is what you really want. We want to get you from the piggy bank into a mutual fund or something that's going to make money for you over time. Show them these things and stop keeping them in the dark, because at the end of the day, these children are our future. And we have to equip them with the knowledge to get to where they need to get to. We can't assume that TikTok and YouTube is going to teach them all of this stuff, because it's not. All right? So, sounds like I'm fussing a little bit. I'm going to get myself together. But that's pretty much what I wanted to share with you guys today. And this particular topic was brought to my attention on Facebook. Is a young lady named Nashea Richardson that I follow, and she brought up the topic, and I'm going to shout her out real quick because she's really heavy into finances and financial tips, and that really was a nice topic that she brought up for discussion on Facebook. So shout out to her. So now we're going to switch gears again, y'all, because we're about to get into this Jeopardy. But before we get into this Jeopardy, once again, that was my financial tip. And Think Different TV is brought to you by our sponsor, Euphoria Water. Euphoria Water is the cleanest, healthiest water in Philly. Alkaline water with minerals, no chemicals, no additives, none of that crazy stuff in it. It is good and good for you. You're going to hydrate the right way and get your Euphoria Water today. You can find Euphoria Water on IG under Euphoria Water. That's UPHORIAWATER. And if you live in the Philadelphia area and want Euphoria Water delivered to your home, please call Captain at 267-707-8279. And that is our sponsor. We're going to jump into our Martin Jeopardy. Tonight's topic, hot topic, was on paternity fraud. Please watch the replay, #replay in the comments. Make sure that y'all subscribe and like and share and do all that great stuff. And when you share, make sure you #TDTV. Okay, guys, we're going to jump into our Martin Jeopardy now. I already put the link in the comments, but I'm going to do it again. For those who don't see it in the chat, I'm going to post it again. And on Facebook, I'm going to make sure I post it over there so you guys can join in to here for Martin Jeopardy. I know a lot of people have been waiting for this particular segment. Martin Jeopardy. I just do Jeopardy, period. This just so happens to be the topic of our Jeopardy, which is Martin Show Trivia. The winner receives $20 cash app. In order to participate, you must have a cash app, because that's how I'm going to send you the money. Jeopardy is played like this. I'm going to give you the answer. You're going to have to answer in question form. So if I say the color of the sky is this, you must say what is blue. If you do not answer in the form of a question, the answer will be wrong. Even if it's the right answer, it will be wrong because you did not answer in the form of a question. I might give you a little bit of wiggle room, but if you don't correct yourself quickly, then I'm going to have to count it as wrong and go to the next player, and then they can have the chance to steal. Now, there are 21 questions tonight. I added 4 more just for some flavoring. Just like last week, we had 21 questions. Just like what was it? 50 Cent asked 21 questions. It's all about us. So there's 100.5, 200.5, 300.5, 400 and then we have the final Jeopardy answer. All right, I see there's already one guest backstage. I want to know if there's any more participants because I want to see people who go head to head and talk smack and all that great stuff. All right. Chiva Lafayette said, real deal, tell him Miss Star, talking about the power of the tongue, making sure that people know. When I was talking about the financial tip, talking about how words hold a lot of power. And you got to be careful with what you say to these kids and what kind of mindset you're building them to have. Very important, guys, very important. I still only got one guest backstage. I want to keep this moving. Who do I have backstage? Is this Reg? What's up, Reg? I see you backstage. All right. I don't know who else is going to be joining in tonight. If it comes down to it, it will just be you, and we'll just see how the most points that you can get, but then I will lower the amount of points because yeah, I'm not rich, batch. Hold up. Let me play some music for y'all while I get some things situated. Wait for some more people to join into the fray. What do I want to play? All right, I think I waited as long as I can wait. It looks like Reg is backstage. See if his head pops back up. All right. Hey, so I'm gonna add you to the stream, my brother. How are you? How are you?
I'm doing good.
Awesome. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I absolutely can. Today is Martin Jeopardy. How well do you know the show Martin? All right. As you can see, my brother, I have my Eagles on. And I got Eagles in my background. You see what I'm doing right now? See what I'm doing? Rapping for my team.
Yes, yes.
Yes. Super Bowl bound, baby. Super Bowl band. I think that's probably why Try isn't on right now. He probably knows I was going to act a fool tonight. And so he decided to stay home. But I'm so glad you're on. And because you are on, you get to play our special round, which will be 4 of each point answer question. We're going to see how many points you can, receive. And then at the end of it all, we're going to do the final Jeopardy, of course. And then whatever the point value is, that's how much money you will receive. Okay, you ready to win some money tonight?
Always, always.
All right, so this is not going to be the $20 cash app. It's going to be a little bit more if you are able to get them point values up. Now, here we go. All right, so like I said, this is Martin Jeopardy. How well do you know the show Martin? How well do you know the show Martin?
I grew up on the show, to be real with you.
All right, so you know seasons 1 through 5.
1 through 5.
All right, let's see how good you are, man. I know it's people watching right now. They're gonna probably be like, "Dang, I should have came on there. I knew all the answers, but you was too late." Now this guy's gonna get all the money. All right, so we're gonna jump into our 100-point answers. All right, very first one. This is the first and last name of Gina's best friend.
Who is Pamela Jenkins?
And wrong. Pamela James. Pamela James.
Oh, shit. Okay. Pamela James.
Yeah, Pamela James. All right. Next 100-point answer. Martin has played many characters, including this one, who was his neighbor.
Who is Shanae?
Who is Shanae? That's absolutely correct. Next 100-point answer. This character ain't got no job.
Who is Tommy Strong?
Who is Tommy Strong? Absolutely. All right. Next 100-point answer. This was the name of Martin's sidekick at the radio station.
Who is Sean?
Who is Sean? Absolutely. All right, we're going to go into our 200-point answers. All right. Martin had a hard time digesting Gina's cooking, but couldn't get enough of these that were as hard as hockey pucks.
Who is his mama's biscuits?
Who is his mama's biscuits? Yes, absolutely, absolutely. All right. Didn't Gina try to heat them up one time and burnt them or something like that? She burnt the biscuits. She tried to heat them up because she thought there was something wrong with them, and she just put them in the oven and.
I think it was the maid on Marla Gibbs when Marla Gibbs came on the show and stuff.
Oh,
yeah.
She was on there. You are absolutely right. All right, here we go. Next 200-point answer. Reuniting and shopping with an old friend ended Martin up here.
Oh, what is prison?
What is prison? I would have also took jail because he was in jail. Wasn't in prison. He was in jail, but I'll take that. All right, take that. P. Diddy. This singer sang for Martin's proposal.
Who is Babyface?
And wrong.
Oh,
he is Brian McKnight.
Yeah.
I know I was gonna catch you.
I was so close. Okay. You got me.
I got you. All right. Last 200-point answer. Martin proposed to Gina in this city.
Ooh.
5.
Where is Detroit?
And no, he proposed to her in New York.
That was my.
She left.
Yeah, in the end of the second season. Okay, got you.
And it was in Central Park, and I believe that was actually The end of the third season.
Oh, I thought it was the second season.
No, it was the end of the third season, I believe.
Oh, one of those seasons. One of those.
One of them seasons. All right. Now we're going into our 300-point answers. All right. This is Gina's father's profession.
What is a doctor?
And he was a chiropractor.
Well, ain't that a doctor?
No, it's not the same. It's not the same. It's not the same. He's a chiropractor. That's different. See, chiropractors don't diagnose. All they do is do the cracking and stuff like that. They fix
Gotcha.
stuff.
All right.
All right. Here's the next 300-point answer. Shanae's on and off again boyfriend was named this.
Ooh.
3, 2.
Who is Siobhan? Something like that.
And what is LaFon's? LaFon.
Oh, the aunt kind of name. Okay.
See, this is the speed round because you by yourself, so I gotta be a little bit like boom, boom, boom. All right.
Ooh.
Next 300-point answer. Martin's apartment number is this.
Damn, you really going in there. Okay.
And what is 42?
Oh, wow.
42. Yeah.
You really going deep with these questions. Okay.
And you know what's funny? I think that was like a homage to like Jackie Robinson or something like that. I think that's why he did 42. Oh, I forgot. It was a reason behind why he said 42. All right. Let's look at the comments real quick. Make sure ain't nobody putting the answers in the comments. Yeah, Trevel said it is a difference though. It is. It is. Talk about chiropractor and doctor. All right. Last 300-point answer. All right. Gina loses one of Shanae's favorite customers. This is the hair salon that the young lady said she was going to go to get her hair done instead of at Shanae's hair salon.
I know the name. I know the name. I know the actress. I just don't know the character's name. That's different.
And what is Juanita's bumper curl? That was the hair salon she was going to go to.
Okay.
I'm telling you, it gets hard, baby. It gets hard. We're now into the 400-point answers. Cruising. Gina was left behind. And a crazy woman played by this actress had her eye on Martin.
Who is Lynn Whitfield?
Who is Lynn Whitfield? There you go. Back on the board, honey. You got some points again. If this was real Jeopardy, you would have been in negative because of all the wrong answers. But I'm not going to do you like that. I'm not going to do you like that. I'm not going to do you like that. All right. Next 400-point answer. Cole tried to get everyone on board to invest in this.
What is Rhythm Spoons?
Rhythm Spoons. Absolutely. That is the answer. All right. Next 400-point answer. Gina looking into this made Martin think she was going to kill him.
What is an insurance policy?
What is an insurance policy? I should have switched some of these answers around.
I mean,
This was the answers around. All right, last 400-point answer. In college, Gina pledged this sorority.
What is, I'm just going off of him. What is AKA?
You're absolutely right. Alpha Kappa Alpha.
Oh, shit. Okay, shit. Oh, let me not curse. Let me not curse a lot on your channel. Let me not curse.
He trying to get me shut off, y'all. He trying to get me shut off. 1100.
I know damn well she was not no Delta. I know that.
800. So you had 2,300 points, my dear.
All
and
right.
we're going into the final Jeopardy.
Okay.
How much would you like to wager?
You know what? I'm gonna play a little. I'm gonna bet like 700.
700?
Yeah.
All right. Here we go.
Well, wait.
Final Jeopardy.
I don't have a piece of paper or a pen on me at the moment. Can I just type it on my laptop, my notepad, or something like that?
No, because I have a feel like you're gonna look at the answer on that laptop.
Oh no. Okay. All right. Okay.
You
Well,
can just
that's cool.
answer. You can just answer because it's just you tonight.
Okay. No problem. All right. Cool.
All right. So you wagered 700 points. This is the final Jeopardy, and this is for all the marbles. Okay. Here we go.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of season 2, Martin left Gina unexpectedly to join a cult, which was located in this city and state. Think about it. So, Reg, what is your final Jeopardy answer? I'm going to read the question again. At the end of season 2, Martin left Gina unexpectedly to join a cult, which was located in this city and state.
I'm gonna just guess. Where is Kansas City, Kansas?
No. What is Far Pines, Michigan? Far Pines, Michigan. Had to be one of those people to pay attention to small details. When the check got returned, it was on the envelope and they read the address aloud.
Yeah, I didn't care for that cult storyline that much. I'm gonna be real with you. I didn't care for that cult storyline.
So here's the thing. You still are alive with 1,600 points. You will be receiving $16.
Oh, that's good.
$16. Oh my gosh. Well, let's speak that to existence. One day I'm going to be able to give away that much prize money. One of these days.
Right.
For TV. Actually, I have an announcement after this, but 1,600 points get you $16 to be sent to your cash at Reg. I appreciate you, even though you didn't get that final Jeopardy because you totally suck at this Jeopardy round. I can't leave you without a little bit of money, so you're gonna get that $16. And listen, you also get a chance to get some Euphoria water from our sponsor, Euphoria Water, the cleanest, healthiest water in Philly, alkaline water with minerals, no additives, no additives, no chemicals. Is good and good for you. You're gonna hydrate the right way. Get your Euphoria Water today at Euphoria Water on IG. That's UPHORIAWATER. And if you live in the Philadelphia area, you can get it straight from Caston by calling his number 267-707-8279. So I appreciate you, Reg, for joining on today. Can you please tell people about what you got going on?
Absolutely. Y'all can just subscribe to my YouTube channel. We review music, movies, everything like that. I got some new music I'm working on the way too. You know what I'm saying? Just follow me on Reg Central on Instagram, Real Reg1 on Twitter, all that good stuff. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my homegirl right here for having me on.
Hey, and I gotta hear from you. Go Birds.
You said
Am I
what?
gonna hear it? Go Birds?
What you mean?
You're not gonna say go Birds?
Oh, go Birds. Go Birds all the way.
Eagles, go Birds. Like, you gotta say it. You
I
can't
got you. Go
be
Birds.
you gotta put some respect on the Eagles name on this channel. You know what?
I got you. I got you.
You get what I'm saying? But yeah, definitely y'all go check out Reg on his YouTube channel, Reg Central.
Yeah, Reg Reviews. Yes.
Reg Reviews on YouTube. And subscribe, like, comment, all of that good stuff. I was actually on one of the episodes when we was talking about some good music, y'all.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, when they review music, they do not hold back. They give all the tea. Y'all gonna hear some conversations that y'all don't hear on these other channels that's out there because they try to be so politically correct. No, he gives you the raw, the unfiltered, the uncut. So definitely check him out. I appreciate you for being on Think Different TV, and make sure you spend that $16 wisely.
You already know. Already know.
I appreciate you, brother. Love you, and I'll see you next time.
Love you too. Peace.
All right, y'all. Like I said, I had some news for y'all, right? So once again, this is an amazing show. I'm so excited. Think Different TV is in the 2nd season. This is the 4th episode. We talked about paternity fraud. We had the Hit It and Quit It, where we was talking about trending topics and political, celebrity, music, local news, just a lot of things that we discussed tonight. We had our music discussion on the top 200 singers of all time, top 50 rappers of all time, these crazy lists that are out there, you know, who is in charge of them and why do they exist? And our financial discussion, you know, talking to children about finances and not keeping them in the dark. We also did our Martin Jeopardy, as you just saw right now. Reg walks away with $16. Will you take more home next week? That is the question. Please tune in to Think Different TV, y'all. I appreciate all of those who have tuned in tonight. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell on our YouTube channel, Think Different TV, so you don't miss out on any episodes, replays, or exclusive interviews from Think Different TV. And like I said, our sponsor is Euphoria Water. You see all the information right there. I am so happy that they have been rocking out with me since day one. Shout out to my Eagles. You know, they are Super Bowl bound, baby. They're going to be going to Arizona to head to head against Kansas City Chiefs. You know, Andy Reid's team. Andy Reid's been waiting for this matchup for the longest, and we're going to give it to them. Again, Think Different TV is every Monday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, and 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And again, shout out to my TDTV fam all over the country. I want to thank all of y'all. And the news is that Think Different TV is now an LLC, y'all. I'm official, y'all. Woo, 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 woo. So y'all gonna see a lot of growth, a lot of things happening with the show, maybe some better equipment. We don't know. But it's all a mystery, and I am here for it. I want y'all all to tune in next week. I hope you got a lot of value out of what I've shown you this week. And as always, have a great week, and I'll see you all next week. And that wraps up Think Different TV.
Think Different TV, live every Monday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Hosted by me, your girl Ashia. Join me as I discuss social topics, spotlight independent artists, and share financial tips. Join the conversation. I want to hear what you have to say. Think Different TV, where minds meet. You're the reason I